Hello, I'm Jo and I'm a tutor at First Intuition in Reading. This is just a short recording to introduce you to the industry life cycle theory, quite a useful theory in business strategy papers. Now, this theory assumes that over the period of time, a new product or an industry will go through a certain life cycle. So at the beginning, it's a new idea, a new concept, nobody knows about it, so sales will be zero or close to zero. But as it gets launched into the market, gradually it will grow. And over time, it will get a bigger number of sales as the product becomes well known and more popular. Eventually, sales will peak and the product will start to decline. Now, some businesses will have a very short, steep life cycle like that. Other industries might have an almost flat life cycle. So if you looked at a product like the Kit Kat that has had almost consistent sales since it was launched 50 years ago, you'll see that the life cycle is very flat and hasn't really started to decline very much at all. So what does this mean for businesses? Well, it's very important when they're planning, because first of all, we can think about expenditure, marketing expenditure. Now, when we're thinking about our expenditure in the introduction stage, we have to spend a lot of money because at this stage, our product is just being launched on the market. So we have to have a lot of advertising campaigns to make people aware of it and fend off the competition. Because if our idea was a good one, the chances are other industries are going to join us here. There's going to be competition in our market, and we want to make sure that we emerge from this as the market leader. Now, not all competitors will survive because everybody will join this market because a growth market is always attractive to new investors. But over time, some businesses will fail. Now, you might think about, say, Blu-ray versus high-definition videos. They have a bit of a battle going on at the moment, the battle of the format. Eventually, one of those may well drop out of the market. It happened a long time ago, if you're old enough to remember, with VHS videos versus Betamax. So we have a shakeout stage where some businesses will fail and they'll just disappear. There's also likely to be a bit of consolidation. We might buy out some of our competitors to get them out of the picture. You know, two big companies may merge in order to take the benefits of economies of scale and so on. Now, in the maturity stage, this is where our business is at its peak, and we want to make sure this is as long as it can be. So at this point, we might try and tweak our product design a little bit to try and make sure that we get a long, mature stage. If you think about the iPhone, they've done this very well by introducing slightly different formats over a number of years. So, we start with iPhone 1, we're now up to, 5, 5S, 6, and we change the size and the format slightly, and each time that extends the maturity stage of our product. At this point, we're probably doing quite well. The market's quite settled, there's fewer new entrants. So at this stage, we should make lots of money here. This is where we're making our profits. Eventually, all good things come to an end and our product will start to decline. Now, at this stage, there's no point spending a lot of money on marketing because the market is dwindling. So we might carry on selling our products as long as it's still profitable, but eventually we might be planning our exit. So we want to be careful because if all of our product mix is in decline, what we need to do is start thinking about new ideas, new things we can bring to the market that are still in the growth stage. So a healthy business might have products at all stages of this life cycle to make sure that they continue to maximise sales. So if you think about, say, Apple, you might argue that the iPhone is now in the maturity stage, maybe even moving towards the decline stage, who knows? And if that's the case, Apple have got a bit of a problem. So they're constantly looking for new ideas. So we've got the Apple Watch that's probably in the growth stage here at the moment. Smartwatches are becoming quite popular. And then down here, perhaps in the R&D stage, not even ready to be introduced yet, is the Apple car. Another useful thing about this model is that we can use it to consider alternative markets. So for instance, in the UK, Apple might say that their iPhone is here, But if we were to look at markets that were perhaps a little bit later in adapting to the smartphone, maybe, say, South Africa, we might say, well, actually in South Africa, we're only just kind of here. We're not quite in the maturity stage yet. And therefore, what we'll do is we'll carry on making our current version of the iPhone, but we won't sell it in the UK. We'll invest our money instead by using it to exploit the South African market. Okay, just some ideas about the industry life cycle. If you'd like more information about that, please have a look at our First Intuition courses on the First Intuition website. Good luck with your studies.